Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning pre-market analysis and trade plan setup for Friday, May the 23rd, 2014. Happy Memorial Day weekend to all our American traders. Looking for a beautiful weather this weekend. My name is Doug McKay. I am the founder and head moderator for Quantum Leap Trading. Quantum Leap is a private organization. It is not a commercial venture. It is a group of retail traders that come together in a Skype room each day to talk about trading, talk about their market observations. We're coming up onto our 5th anniversary. If you're interested in coming in and checking out our room, you can send me a Skype request, Doug_McKay. I'll be the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Or you can send me a email at d.mckay@stealthtrader.com. Each morning we come together into this live go-to, and I go through my market analysis and look at the market structure. I look at the macro to the micro picture, and then we set up our trade levels and our targets for the day. So if you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, we do go through a normal routine that starts with key numbers and then the trends in the macro to the micro before we get into some more in-depth chart analysis and start setting up our levels. So you might want to skip ahead. We don't skip because we go through the same routine every morning. These videos are put on YouTube each day, so if you want to refer back to them, we've been posting them now for probably about half a year, and my record speaks for itself, and just there's lots of education purposes as well with the videos. But before we do anything, I've got to get the legals out of the way, so let me do that. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand their knowledge of the business of trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. Even only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions made. Trading futures or any instrument involves risk loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to financial situations. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors could lose more than initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see on Quantum Leap are for education purposes. Okay, so let's just do a quick review of what we did yesterday and how we performed. So this was our chart yesterday, and these were our levels that we set up. Our main hypothesis in the morning was that we were going to get chop in this area, in this upper distribution of the Wednesday's profile, and that we needed to break above 87.25, or wait to take a long or a break of the 83 level. And I stayed on after the live go-to call the market in the morning, and then we got down to this 83 level, and we had a beautiful setup, not just off the targets, but we had stretched out to 4 standard deviations with equilibrium back up at 85.50, and we got long off of 83, and basically that was the trade of the day. They made the move up, and then they just basically went sideways. Our upper target was the naked VPOC at 94.25. We missed it by 1 tick. But you can see, how I set my levels up. You can see that we get reactions at these levels, and we get them for a reason. And it's based on the market structure and the volume profile, the rejection areas, and the price acceptance area. But we'll get into that more. We did do a little bit of a sell-off, into the close, but that is nothing. And my main hypothesis today is we're going to have light volume. We don't have any we got new home sales. That's about the only big news that we've got. But we're still holding value higher and outside of balance, and we're likely to get an afternoon drift, and if we get into that afternoon drift, very easily see us go up there and make a new high at 98.50 and test that 1900 level. But we don't know what's going to happen, so we're going to trade it based on what the market gives us. So let's get into our regular key numbers. We're currently trading, where are we trading? We are trading 91.50 right now. So we're above the year open at 1837.75, so we definitely have a bullish year. We are just below that all-time high and year high at 1898.50 and our month high. We are above our month open at 1879.50, so we got up there. We held above the month open, so we have a bullish month going. Our month low is 1854.50, and we're trading, just in around last month's high at 1892.50. So everything still looks very positive on the monthly. Going down to the intraday numbers from yesterday, we opened the Globex at 83.75, had a high at 90.50 and a low at 83, and then we opened the market in range, in value at 1865.75, and then, is that correct? Sorry, just 1 second here. 1885.75. How'd you get that number? Typo. 1885.75 opened in range, in value, and then we had a opening type, open auction in range. We had normal variation. We broke the IB to the upside. Our opening swing was 2¼ points. 86.75 high, 84.50 low, and then our initial balance high was 89.75 and low at 82.75 for a 7-point initial balance. Pretty normal. All our intraday numbers were higher. Our 12:30 number 93, our high 94, our low 82.75, and we closed at 90. And the VPOC shifted up again. So our VPOC value, accepted value, keeps coming up higher, except for this day right here, 91.75. 20-day ATR targets right now are running under 15 on the RTH, just over 17 on the full session, and just under 8.5 on the Globex. Our value area high, 93.25. Value area low, 88.75 for a 4.5 point value area, and then we broke the IB just outside of the initial pocket at 9.50 Central. Volume for the day, really light volume, under 1 million on the RTH, just over 1 million on the full session. Going into a holiday weekend, nothing too terribly crazy. Our ATR Target Calculator right now, we have the full session high so far at 93, our full session low so far 91.50. Is that right? Hold on a second. I don't think that's right. $89.50. I knew that was wrong. So our ATR targets to the upside right now is 1906.75. Just have to make that change. And our ATR target to the low side, 1875.75. There's that 75.75. Taking a quick look at the news, we had Canadian core CPI. Didn't make much of a difference, but we do have new home sales at 9 Central, 10 Eastern. So be careful coming into that. That's a number that could move us. Don't freeze up on me. Taking a look at naked crosses that we've got a naked cross up here at 1892. I think it's going to get taken out, or was just taken out. The one that I'm watching though is this one right here at 1895.25, and then we've got the 91.75 from yesterday. We took out 2 naked VPOCs yesterday. So let's look to the trends and see what we've got going on right now. I always start with the monthly and work my way down. Monthly trend, very much intact. Good slope and separation on the 9 EMA and the 20 SMA. We're trading above the prior month high, and our trend is very much intact on the monthly. On the weekly, same thing. except for this little bit of weakness here. We have moved back above the 9, and we're getting slope and separation. The trend is very much intact on the weekly. On the daily, we're starting to create a trend. We've got a little bit of a tech gap going on, possible tech gap, Mr. Sneaky. We'll keep an eye on this today. If we do get the Mr. Sneaky, then we'll likely come down and close this technical gap either by time or price, but we're likely to come up and test this 94 today and invalidate the Mr. Sneaky. But just keep an eye on the fact we do have a tech gap, but we do have, the start of a little bit of a trend going on in the daily. Going over to the geometric chart, now there's 4 Andrews Pitchforks. They're modified shift. You can see that the longer term fork, we've been trading in the lower channel of the longer term fork. Then there's this intermediate upward sloping fork, and then I've got 2 opposing forks now. And I just added this fork here today. I'm just testing it out. I'm not convinced that it's valid yet, but I want to look at it. The key today, though, is we broke out of this downward sloping fork, the upper line. We hit our energy point there. Then we tested the line from above and rejected it, and then broke through the center line of the upward intermediate fork, and currently we're trading above that in the upper channel here. A retest of the center line today will take us down to 1887.75. I added this little fork. We've got an energy point here off of this if it validates at 91.50, 91 and a quarter. But I'm watching this energy point down here, and that's going to come into play somewhere near the end of the month, May 30th, thereabouts. So we'll see how this plays out. But I'm not putting a lot of strength into this new fork that I put in until I see a little bit. But the key is the fact that we could get a retest of the center line here. The big move, if we get a move, is up to test the center line of the longer time frame upward sloping fork, and that's projecting a move up into the 1930, 1940 area. So let's look at the trend on the intraday coming into the market. We've got a 4-hour trend. We had created a tech gap here. This is a good example of closing tech gap through time. Got the tech gap, rejected the 9 EMA, got another tech gap going on right here, and we're coming and looking like it's going to close through time. I would imagine the tech gap close is going to be somewhere in around 89.75. But we do have a trend starting here. We got good slope and separation. We do have a naked cross down here at 1874, 1875 area. And remember that our 20-day ATR target to the downside is 1875.75. So that's a possibility, to look for. Not saying it's going to happen, but we look at what the probabilities could be and where the targets will be. Going down to the 30-minute, you can see that not so much of a trend. We've got consolidation. We've broken down below the 9 and the 20, and currently are trading below. But just basically consolidating sideways, and that's probably what's going to close that tech gap on the 4-hour. Going to the 5-minute, actually starting to look like we're getting a bit of a trend down. But we really don't have the slope yet. We do have some separation, and we're trading below the 9 and the 20. So no trend coming into the market on the 5-minute. So let's go over to the wrong chart. Go over to the composite chart. So this chart's going to look a little bit busy, but I'll walk you through it. Right now, I'm watching the major microcomposite. This microcomposite right here, this profile, is going from February the 21st all the way to yesterday, and the most accepted price within that time frame, or the microcomposite VPOC, is 1865. If I move this to the back, you can see also that the, whoops, go to the back for me, please. You can see that this line right here, this I think it's yellow or green, I'm colorblind, that is the composite VPOC. So the micro composite, so the intermediate time frame and the longer time frame, and my composite I'm running back to October the 9th, 2013 swing low, but the composite VPOC and the micro-composite VPOC are in balance right now at 1865. The value within the micro-composite, the value area high, is this 1879.50. The value area low is all the way down here at 1841. And we have a couple smaller profiles that I've been watching. One is, this 8150. This is, what I was targeting when, we were coming up here, because this is where they tried to hold value once they made that that all-time high at 92.50, and then tried to hold value at 81.50, and then they couldn't hold value. They came down all the way down into this 43, which is where they held value before they came up and accepted that value around 65. But right now what I'm watching is we had this smaller 5-day micro-composite with a value area high on it at 75.75. There's that 75.75. And then the value area low was down here at 62. Then we broke out of that value 2 days ago, and we are watching this number up above us at 1890.25. Why? Because this is where they were trying to hold value after going and making that all-time high. So we were knowing that if they were going to break out of balance that we were in, that they were likely going to go into price discovery until they got up to this 90.25 to see if they can find some sellers. And we got up to this. We pushed through to the value area high. The value area high on the smaller 3-day microcomposite is at 94.75, and we pushed through to that 94.75. And remember, we had that naked VPOC at 94.25, and that was my target. We missed it by 1 tick. But we came up to the 94 and tested the upper side of that balance, and then we rotated back. That overnight we held value up here inside of the microcomposite with the value area low at 87.25. And this 87.25 is going to be a key line, because if we break below the current value that we're in, we're likely going to have to come down all the way back down here to this 81.50 to see if they can find responsive buyers down here. So this is going to be an important level to watch today. Of course, the key level above us is going to be this 94.25, 94.75, because then if we get above that, we're breaking outside of the current value that we're accepting, and we're likely to go and take out the all-time high at 98.50 and test that 1900 level. So let's grab our Globex chart and move our numbers over and start marking our chart. So we had a pretty tight range overnight. Inventory is pretty neutral overnight, right in around the VPOC from yesterday at 91.75. In fact, our overnight VPOC I don't think is going to shift as 91.50. We'll just put that 91.50 in. We're getting a little bit of a breakdown here. Our overnight low, we're going to have to keep an eye on this if we're getting a bit of a breakdown, because we still have some time before we get into the RTH session, at 89.50. So our overnight low is 89.50. Just above, oops, come on, just above the value area at 88.75 and the midpoint at 88.50. Our overnight high is up at 93. That's going to be basically just below the value area high from yesterday. Okay, so let's take this off and just widen this out so we can see this a little bit better. So right now, if we open, in this area, we're going to open up in the upper distribution and inside of value and inside of range. from yesterday. We've got a naked close here at 1890. Now, like I said, the key level that I'm watching is actually, is it 86.75? 86.75. So you've got an LVN right here at 87 and a CLVN at 86.75, and that puts you outside of value at 87 1/4. So this is going to be my definitive line in the sand, for today. And if we come down here and test this area, I'm going to be looking very much like the 83 level and looking for responsive buyers to step in here and hold us inside of value of the micro composite. But I've got this level right here, which is the value area low at 88.75. So I'll be watching this level first at 88.75 because they're likely to come down here, take out the overnight low, and then value area buyers stepping in and holding us up. But I'm going to be very careful at this area because they could push through to test the value area low of the microcomposite. So I want to see very strong buying coming in here at this 88.75 before I would take a long. And I look at the possibility of coming down and coming down here to that 87, 86.75 area. If we break below the 86.75, the target below is 85.50. That's the target I want to get funded by or scaled with a push through to test the 82.75 range low from yesterday. And then below that, the big number is the 81.75. I'm sorry, 81.50. Because we're likely going to come down and test that microcomposite down here at 81.50. Now I want to show you the other area that I'm watching, because if we come down here to 81.50 and we can't find buyers, the value area for the smaller microcomposite that we just broke out of to make the new high, then we came back down to it, the microcomposite VPOC is down here at 72.50. So the value area high is right there at the 81, and then of course we've got the longer term value area at 79.75. So if you look here, what I'll be doing is I'll be looking for them to push in through that and test that 79.75, 80 area. And then below that, there really isn't anything that I think would hold us up until we get to this 74.75, which is the value area high of the 5-day balance that we broke out of on Wednesday. So the target will be, and it was a range high as well, so the target below is going to be 74.75, and then the big target below is that 72.50, and then we're back into that key level, okay, of 68 1/4, and 68 1/4 is a naked VPOC, and then we, below that 68 1/4, okay, this composite VPOC and microcomposite VPOC is going to act as a major magnet, and we're likely to come down and test that. I don't think that 67 area is going to hold this time when we come back down. We've come down a couple times and held at the 67 1/4, 68 area. I don't think it's going to hold, and I think we get a strong move down to 68.50. So I'm actually going to use this 68 1/4 as a area to get short, or accelerate to the downside to 65. And then below that, you got 61, 55, 49. I'm not going to go into all the reasons why. You can go and watch the prior days from this week video to test it. My main hypothesis, though, is we hold above this 87, 87 1/4. I'm sorry, 86.75, 87 area, and we find some responsive buyers. If we don't, it could hold at the 88 area as well. But my main hypothesis is to take out the overnight low, find responsive buyers, come up and do a value area play, 80% probability of a value area play up into this 93 to take out, 93 and a quarter to take out this overnight high and come up and get this, test the range high and the naked VPOC at 94 and a quarter, and that is my main target above right now. And then if we break out of there, there's nothing to hold us back until we get to this 98.50, and the next area around that will be the test of the 1900, and then above that we've got, we've got 1902.50. Our ATR target is 1906.75, and of course the big one is the rule of 10 of testing a centennial number for the first time up here at 1910. I don't think we're going to get much higher than that. We're going to have light volume going into this afternoon. So as we open this whole area in here, there's just no edge. Okay, so you really have to wait for the breakout of the value above 93, or come down here and see if they find value buyers down here at 88.75, or possibly push through to 87. Just it's going to be choppy in here. So where are you going to put your stop? You got to put your stop at least. And I'm going to put a trade area right here at this 93. You know what? I'm going to take this one, this 94 out. Come on. Because I'm going to take, I would take the 93 and a quarter breakout and target the 94 and a quarter. And it's going to be a target, and it's also an area where you could accelerate, because if we break out of the range, I'm pretty sure we're going to get a strong move up into that 98 by that point in time. But this is a little bit clearer. So, just, if you're going to try to trade in here, be careful, because it's going to be very choppy in this area, and there's really nothing to lean against until you get down here to 88.75, and I really think your stop's got to be below 86.75. So let's take a look quickly at the Russell. How am I doing for time, Howard?
About 17.
Okay. I've already got my levels here, so very similar. We're going to be opening up, in the upper distribution of the range from yesterday. We've got a bit of a T-shaped profile on the volume on the Russell profile from yesterday. Key level that I'm watching is this LVN at 11.10.20. If we break below that, I think we come down and test that 11.09.50 area again. And below the 11.09.50, you've got the value area low here at 11.08.75 with a target just below it at 11.07.75 before we break through it. With a push through to possibly test this 11.06 area, which is this LVN from the microcomposite. Let me bring this to the front so you can see that. Come on. You've got this area right here. It really starts at 11.06 and comes all the way down to 11.03. So you got to be careful in that, in this whole area between this 11.06. There's single prints there, and we're likely to get pushed through. If we break through 11.06, I'm pretty sure we've got a good probability of coming down and testing this 11.03. With a break of 11.03, you're looking at targeting 11.02.20 and 11.01, with the big number being the range low at 1190. Below 1190, I don't think that you've got anything to hold us up until we get down here to the 96. You might get a little bit of support here at 97.70. So let me put a trade area there. But the big target below 1190 is this 1096. And then below that, you've got 91. You've got a naked VPOC and a range low at 1090. But the big, line in the sand that I'm watching, believe it or not, is all the way down here at 1175. I'm sorry, 1075. That's the major support we have to hold, because if we get below that, there's really nothing until we get all the way down into the 64.50 area. So I think at that point in time you're going to see the buyers capitulate, and then we're going to get a bigger retrace. To the upside, if we can hold above this 1110.20, look for them to take out the naked VPOC at 1112 and the overnight VPOC at 1112.25, and the other side of that balance. There's a little bit of an LVN here at 1112.50, but I don't think it's going to have much effect on us today. It's really the first target above that area is this 1113.50 and the overnight high at 1113.75. And then once we're in this upper distribution, the big key number there is, is the value area high, and I think we get a value area play at that point in time up into 1115.50. The key resistance above us is this 1117.70. I'm targeting 17 just in front of it, with a possible responsive seller stepping in at 1117.70, because if we break above 1117.70, there's nothing that's going to hold us back, and we'll drift up and test the composite VPOC and micro composite VPOC here at 1121, and we've got a naked VPOC as well at 1121.40. And then above that, the other side of balance is all the way up at 1126.50, and I don't think we're going to see much more than that today. So taking a quick look at gold. We're currently inside of this balance still, and we've got the longer microcomposite balance starting from the April the 16th through to yesterday, and then the smaller microcomposite, both their VPOCs have now shifted to 1295, and we're trading just below that at 1293.10, and we've got that CHVN here at 92.20. We've just been chopping around in this distribution point. And let me just want to draw a profile here on this last 3 days, and it's in line too. So the key target right now above us and the balance is at 1295.20, with the other side of balance and that key line that I keep talking about. I'm still running long on gold. I've got a stop that's sitting down at 1275.25, and this is a swing position that I've been working a couple months on, and I'm hoping it holds. The key line right now is this 1288.60. I'm sorry, 1288.40. If we get below 1288.40, look for a push down to test the value area low down here at 1285.90, and the 1284.80 is right there. And if we break out of value, then I think we come down and we'll test the other side of balance in the range low in between that 1276.40 and 1277 area. And if we break that, then all bets are off on my long. I'm accepting that I'm locking in profit at 1275.25. That's just a decision. I got to lock in profit somewhere, and because if we break that, then we can come all the way down into this 1265.10 and see a bigger retracement. But I'm still long on gold. I still think that we're going to chop around in this area, probably play ping pong between this 1284.80 and 1295, 1292 area. But if we can get back above this 1298, they make a run for 1300, and we break out of the smaller balance and come up and test this 1306.20. Above 1306.20, you've got 13 09, 70, and then the 1315, and once we get above 1315, I think we get a strong move up into this 2360, and my target really is the swing high here at 3140, because the long-term play on this is this chart right here. So, kind of sound like a broken record here, but we had a descending broadening wedge bottoming pattern. Then we broke out. This is where I first got long my gold, and then once we broke out, we've created this cup and handle formation, and we've come down to validate the handle, and we're just going sideways right now, and I'm waiting for this break above the 38.2 retracement and a move up to that 1331 area. But if we do come up and we break above the right rim of this, and one of the reasons why I've got the swing position going, we get above the right rim and get into the 1400s, the measured move on this cup and handle is all the way up to 1600, and that's a move that I want to be participating in. And I simply started building the position with the breakout of the descending broadening wedge. So very quickly, just go back and see where we're trading here. We haven't put, that's the Russell chart. Let me just get my chart set up here. We're still trading 91.50. They're finding balance around here. So it's going to be choppy. We got 96% probability of taking out the overnight high and overnight low, and when you've got such a tight range, we've only got what, a 4.5 point, or less than a 4-point range overnight. That's tight. That's really tight, and there's 96% probability of taking one or the other out. There's a 28% probability we take both out. I think you could possibly see both the overnight high and overnight low taken out here. So it's going to be choppy on the open. My thought is that will likely come down first, close the naked close in the overnight low and test the value area, and then see if we can find responsive buyers. But if they do, take this and test the overnight high, I'll be looking for the breakout and a move into this 94.25 and a breakout of range from yesterday. That's going to complete our homework session for Friday, May the 23rd, 2014. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side. All right, let me get this this chart posted.